Hey there, everybody. What is up? It's RC, and today we're going to be talking about Adam Post's College of the Dead, the first book in his series. I know it's been a little bit of time since I did the unboxing, but this was probably the first little bit of time that I've been able to actually sit down and read the whole book. Let me first start. It is obviously packaged great, very high quality cover, and the pages of the actual book don't feel flimsy at all, or they don't seem like newsprint or anything like that. So it's definitely a good quality book. And secondly, the book itself, where is it? Alright, so the book itself has a little character list in the beginning of the book. And it really helps you to identify which characters are which. I did still find myself somewhat confused as to what characters were which whenever the story first started, but that got, what's the word I'm looking for? It got easier to identify which characters were which ones as the story progressed, which is good. I do have to confess, I'm not usually a person for black and white comics. I usually like to see color, but I knew what I was getting into whenever I was first purchasing the book on Indiegogo, so that is all up to me. The only part that I had... Okay, let me give my overall thoughts on the story of College of the Dead first. I thought it was actually a very good story. It tells a story. I'm not going to get into spoilers here because the book is still coming out and other people may not have read it. It does take an interesting look at zombies and how the college that the characters are at, how it reacts to said zombie attack. And it's definitely very interesting because it involves other characters in the story who are trying to get away from said zombies and also from the law in certain instances. And they're trying, all of these characters are sort of playing off of each other and using each other for their own specific reasons. And all of it ties together very nicely at the end. There are definitely some instances where I did find myself scratching my head, and one of those points was at the beginning of the book where when the outbreak first happens. Something that I would see probably more so in like a comedic aspect and not necessarily something like how this book is framed. So there's a scene where some unrelated characters, or at least unrelated that I could tell, were having like a city council meeting or something like that, and the zombies break in, and that's one of the first appearances of the zombies. And all these people are saying like, oh, it's people in like Halloween costumes, or oh, the makeup is, or like, what are you doing with the makeup? Oh, give me a second. I'm gonna take a look at what that actual page said. Where is it? Where can I find it? I probably just should have looked at this right now. Okay. Okay, so they call it like cosplay, or they say that the person's drunk. But I don't think this is gonna necessarily spoil anything. But would you think that that is someone cosplaying, or so I can move my mic, or being drunk? Because it's almost the point where the art style is almost too good to actually think that that's something beyond parody. That was probably the only hiccup in the story that I could see. Everything else had a certain degree of grittiness and gravitas behind it. It seemed like something that I could see in a movie, perhaps. Maybe something like what Romero would do with his zombie movies. And you could certainly feel the sort of desperation of the characters as they each try to escape for their own specific reasons. And you'll see what I'm meaning whenever you read the book. I really enjoyed the book. I still need to get to the sequel book, and I will make a review of that one whenever I get to reading it. As far as I can tell, it is a colored comic book. It is a little bit shorter than the original, but again, I understood that when I got it. And I want to see a continuation of the story, so I don't have a problem with that. I would say check out the book Adam Post College of the Dead, and I will put a link to that in the description for the Indiegogo campaign. I believe it's still running. Also, congratulations, Adam Post, for being the most for having the sequel comic that has actually grown the most in from the comicsgate campaigns on Indiegogo. Fantastic job. Yeah, check out College of the Dead. It's a worthwhile read, and so long as you're okay with black and white comics, this will be a good pickup for you. If you enjoyed the video, enjoyed my thoughts on the comic book, then let me know down in the comment section and leave a like on the video. If you want to see even more reviews, or I don't know, even just letting myself ramble about comics, then subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications to stay up to date on when new videos are posted. And I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.